Hi, I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading. I'm out back out of the house on the trail. You can hear me crunching through the leaves. This is mid-October of 2025, and we're having a beautiful fall season up here in the Lakes region of New Hampshire. I just love it, and try to get out as much as I can. The last few videos I've done, I've been out on the deck, and it's been warm and stuff. Today it's chilly. It's in the 40s. It was down in the mid 30 degree Fahrenheit range last night, so it's progressively getting colder. And so I want to take advantage of the cold times, let's say, to get outside and walk around. But the topic is not quite as pleasant, and that's dealing with difficult Forex trading conditions. I've had emails from several of you expressing the frustration at their trading. It's just gone to shit. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. And they're saying, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Well, in the majority of cases of the people that I've talked with anyway, you're not doing anything wrong. What's happening is that market conditions are changing, because market conditions always change, and the particular methodology that you're using, or God forbid a system, those things tend to be systems like, you know, the short MA crosses the long MA, and you do this, or the RSI is this, that, and the other thing, or you're running some type of an algo somebody built and it's not working. It's because you're relying on the wrong information to make your trading decisions on. Your decisions are right for the way that you view what you need to do in the market, but they're wrong for the market that you're looking at. And that market is constantly changing. When you get into Forex initially, or maybe in your first couple of years of trading, everything, you know, you're kind of blinded by what you're doing as opposed to what the market is doing that you need to react to. You're like singing the wrong song to the music. So you're singing as, oh, okay, but it's not in harmony with the music that you're trying to go along with. I know that's a corny analogy, but the truth of the matter is the market is always changing. And it's only when you gain some experience that you can step back from your trading and go, holy shit, every time I do this, this happens. It takes a long time to get to that point. So if you don't have a mentor that can listen to you and say, whoa, wait a minute. Let's look back in your transaction register and tell me what happened here. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Have you considered this? If you don't have access to that, then how are you going to know that it's not you, but it's the market, and you're simply reacting to the market the incorrect way? So you think it's your system. Oh shit, I've been doing the RSI and the confluence with a Bollinger Band or something, and okay, that's not working, I'm losing money, I'm going to go and I'm going to do the Black Tuesday Iron Cross trade. I have to be careful here where I'm walking, because there's sticks all over the trail. We've had some wind and knocked some of the dry wood down. We've been in a drought in parts of New Hampshire, and so it's very dry, and when the winds come up, boom, some of the dead branches come flying off the trees, and if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're going to get killed. It's not that you're walking incorrectly, it's that you're walking there at the wrong time. So your walking is not at fault. It's the tree that fell that hit you. And so it's not your trading that's at fault. It's that you don't recognize the conditions that you're trading against. Oh, Peter, that sounds so complicated. It's not complicated. It makes it easy, because then what you have to do, instead of trying to trade with RSIs and technical analysis and Bollinger Bands and looking at fundamentals and what's the Fed going to do, and you know, what's the unemployment rate going to cause the housing index, that you're going to drive yourself crazy. in my videos, I always talk about order flow. And I constantly get emails from people. Well, what is order flow and how do you do that? You're asking me questions about order flow? It means that you're a beginner trader and you really haven't learned how to trade. I can't help you. I can only help you if you've been trading for a while and have some experience in the market over, let's say, a 6-month period of time, make about 50 trades, 100 trades. You've got to have some basis of data in order for me to be able to say, okay, look, this is how you take what you know and put it into the correct context of the market you're trying to trade. And then the rules that you build have to be agnostic to the condition of the market. Not agnostic to order flow and price action, but agnostic to the condition of the market. Oh my God, I know you don't get that. You don't understand the difference in all that. But that's the difference between somebody who's teaching and presenting Forex as a process as opposed to somebody who's just trying to teach you a Golden Cross or London Open or some dumb shit like that. You know, it's the education that's out there is very poor. I'm a professional educator. I've been teaching martial arts, karate, and self-defense for well over 50 years. I've taught people how to program business applications using enterprise tools. I've taught people how to sail, how to play backgammon. I love to teach. I understand the teaching process. I understand what it means to build a plan of some kind. I'm going to go sailing. What do I need to do? You know, you just don't jump in the boat, particularly like the boat that I grew up in, a little 12-foot penguin-class sailing dinghy. Jesus, you get in the boat and you can flip the damn thing over. So there's a process. How do you get in the boat? How do you get it set up? What do you do first? If I'm coming up to the buoy, what side do I pass the buoy on? What color is it? It's all of these things that indicate a process. How would you respond to a system that says you're going to sail this boat? Get in the boat, raise the sails, put the rudder over so that you fill the sail, and go. What good is that going to do you? The fact that learning how to sail is based on those things is fine. But you can't present those things as sailing. They have nothing to do with sailing. And that's I guess I'm trying to present the case that it's not you, it's just the stuff that you're doing it works sometimes. Well, where are the sometimes that it works? This is how, I mean, hopefully this helps you. If you're losing, let's be blunt, if you're losing, you have to step back and say, why are you losing? And you say, oh, well, you know, no. Why did that trade lose? What did you do? What conditions were you looking at when you got into that trade? What caused you to get into the trade? In my fast track course, which is a 6-week program, I teach the life cycle of a currency position, which is my solution set to the trading problem. I was a software engineer for 33 years, and so we used a process called the software development life cycle, the SDLC. And I took that and mapped it into currency trading, and I call it the life cycle of a currency position. And it has 3 phases. Each phase represents a problem in trading. Those problems are in sequential order. And those problems in the life cycle of a currency position are entry analysis, position management, and exit methodology. I'm sorry if you've heard this 500 times, but I've done well over 500 videos, and every video I talk about the life cycle of a currency position because it indicates a process, a map that's based on the conditions of the market, not on some system. There's no technical analysis in it. There's no fundamental analysis in it. It's condition-based. Each one of those phases of the life cycle of a currency position, entry analysis, position management, and exit methodology, is a problem. And every problem has a solution, and that solution is found in a rule. There's one rule for each problem. If you have 2 rules to solve one problem, you're too complicated. You need to break that problem into 2 pieces and have 2 rules then. I have 3 phases, 3 problems, 3 rules. Entry analysis, position management, and exit methodology, with entry analysis being the most important. Oh man, I just, you know, if you don't have a good entry, you don't have a position to manage, and if you don't have a position to manage, you don't have anything to get out of. It's crazy. And yet I hear experienced traders saying, oh, anybody can get into the position, but it's getting out that's important. No, it's not. What are you, fucking stupid or something? If you don't understand entry analysis, you're never going to have a position to manage to get out of. Oh my God. When you are looking at your trading, you're most likely failing in that entry analysis stage of the problem solution of the life cycle of a currency position, even though you didn't know that. Well, you know you have to enter the trade, then you got to do something with it, and then you got to get out. You know that. But who has codified that down into a methodology that's process-based and can explain that? That's what the Fast Track program does. That's why I teach it, because I'm an educator, and that's how you educate. So if you, and I'm not pitching you to take my course because it's just me teaching it, so I don't have time to work with 100 people. You know, send me an email. If you have questions about it, I'd be happy to talk with you to help you at no charge, because I don't have the time to have everybody in a course, but I would like to help you. But if it turns out that you don't have the experience at looking at the market as a set of conditions, that you have to write rules that are agnostic to those conditions, that they're just rules that resolve issues of price action and order flow. If you don't understand that, but you're having problems with your trading, I can help you figure out what you're doing wrong. If you don't get the fact that you need a process instead of some friggin' magic system, you're going to need to take a course. You're going to need to have somebody help you. You just have to find somebody that makes sense about what they're teaching you. I mean, God forbid if they're sending you off to a Udemy or a Teachable or something site, an online course that, you know, 16 videos, 42 modules, you know, blah, 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 $49.95, all you can eat. Really? I don't think so. I'm at the other end of the phone. I do video conferencing during the Fast Track program with you so that you understand fully how this stuff is glued together as a process and bring your head out of systems of trading. The guy that I was talking with, several months ago, that kept saying, well, let me tell you what I'm doing, and you tell me what I'm doing wrong. And he keeps saying it. Here, I'll send you the system I'm working on, and you know I'm waiting until this happens, and then I do this, and if the RSI is reading here, and then I do this. I said, wait a minute, is that working for you? And he goes, no. I said, then I'm not going to look at it, because the whole fucking thing is wrong. If you were having a problem, if you had experience with your trading and you had a problem and you said, gee, this is happening all the time, I'm getting stopped out here, or I have to get out because of this, that's something I can help you with, because you have some experience in trading, that you've been able to identify exactly what it is that's happening, not trying to throw a system at me. It means that you're ready to learn what a process is, and ready to accept that trading is far simpler than what you might have led yourself to believe. It's very simple. People don't believe that simplicity. They think they need these complex systems to trade, but complex systems are not malleable where processes are. And yet you don't, a process, you don't have to change the rule. You simply change the input that gets into the rule that makes the conditions behave in the manner consistent with the conditions of the market that you're trading against. That sounds really complicated, but it isn't. It's all in how you build your rules and how you build the conditions that are in the rules. So that's the purpose of the Fast Track course. Basically, it's to solve the problem of the entry analysis phase of the life cycle of a currency position. Because if you can't do that, then you're not going to be successful no matter what you try to do. It's 90% against you, right? I mean, you know the statistics. 90% of traders that begin trading, 90% of traders lose 90% of their money in 90 days. That's a statistic. It holds true. Nobody would argue with that. Well, does that mean that there's 90% of you out there that are stupid? No. I mean, I lost all my money when I first went in and opened a large position. I studied the currency market from 2007 until 2012 as an academic exercise, writing simulation analysis and stuff. I got a degree in physics and almost a minor in math. I love that shit. 2017, I've been trading in demo for 4 years and writing simulations. Man, I thought I had everything nailed down. I lost $40,000 of my $45,000 account in about 4 months. And I stopped and I thought, what the hell is going on here? And that's where the life cycle of a currency position came from. I stepped back from it and it solved it as a problem, as opposed to looking at individual things that I got to do to react to what the market is doing. That doesn't make any sense, but that's what I was taught to do. I took courses, I watched the videos like you are, I've read books, and I've done it through the eyes of somebody that has a degree in physics and math and all that other stuff. So if I didn't get it, then it's wrong. And it is wrong. It's not that hard. And so if you can abstract yourself out from the market itself and say, what am I trying to do here? Well, yeah, you're trying to make money and all that. Well, how do you do that? Well, you gotta, if the little squiggly line is going up and you buy, you'll make money. If the little squiggly line is going up and you sell, the probability jumps greatly against you, right? So it sounds really simple. And it is simple, as long as you can remove all the clutter that's surrounding you, that you're trying to solve the wrong problem. That's what I found out I was doing. I was trying to solve the wrong problem. That's what all the videos and all the talking heads out there are doing. They're getting you to solve the wrong problem. So the first thing that we try to do in the Fast Track course is tell you what the problem is. This is the problem. Well, it's trading and it's looking at the market the correct way. What specific tools do I need in order to accomplish entry analysis? What specific tools do I need to do position management? What specific tools or abilities do I need to get out of the trade at the correct time so I maximize the amount of profit that I have? Exit methodology isn't just hitting the close button. It's when do you do it? Any dumbass out there can tell you what to do and how to do it, but nobody's talking about, well, when exactly do you execute that particular thing that I'm telling you to do? If you wanted to learn how to plant a garden, the example I always give, you gotta know what a shovel is, you gotta know what the seeds are, you gotta know the composition of the ground and all that kind of stuff. That you know how that's the what. I got a shovel and I got seeds and I got ground. That's the what. Well, how do I use the shovel? How do I plant the seed? How do I water the garden? So the what and the how, again, any dumbass can teach you that. And that's all they're capable of teaching you because that's all they know. They got good at trading simply by stepping on the landmines and blowing their asses up so many times that they finally figured out what not to do. Is that how you want to learn how to trade? Do you have the money to be able to do that? Do you have the perseverance to be able to do that? Probably not. And so you're going to fail a couple of times and you're going to lose your account because you lose big and away it goes. And you drop out. instead of being able to say, okay, let's look at what this market is and how it behaves, which is encapsulated within the principles of order flow, which causes a price action, right? And you're dealing with the economies of two different countries. So you don't have to worry about the CEO of some company having absconded with a couple of $100 million and the price of the stock drops like a tomato, okay? Because that's not the case in the currency market. There's too many. The currency market is so complex, that's why we don't have to worry about fundamental analysis, because it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're trading long-term position stuff, well, then it would matter. But nobody except institutional traders trades long-term positions. You have to day trade in order to be agnostic to all the noise that this complex market is throwing up at you. If you look at the long term, that's why stock trading is a fool's game, because you have to look at so much information in order to make your decisions. You have to do that. There's no squiggly line in simplicity in that. There is in the currency market, and that's why I trade it. Try doing real estate for 40 years like I did, and pushing millions of dollars around and was able to retire because of that. That's a complicated thing. Now I look at trading, I go, why did I make the mistake when I put that $45,000 up at risk? Why did I make the mistake and lost $40,000? After I did that loss and I figured out, it took me about 15 minutes because I just changed the way that I thought, that's all. And I've got the background to be able to do that very quickly. Whereas the fast track program would take you 6 weeks to get through, to get to that point where you go, oh yeah, I get this, I believe in it. But I already believed, I knew that there was a better way to trade than what I was doing. 15 minutes. Wrote the life cycle of a currency position out, entry analysis, position management, exit methodology. Each one has a rule. I wrote down the conditions for those rules. Those were done in 2018. It's 2025 right now. I've never changed it because it's agnostic to the conditions of the market. And so right after I wrote those rules out, I experimented with them a little bit in a demo account, and I had $5,000 left in my main trading account, my real account. And so I took that $5,000 and was within $200 of doubling that in about 3 months, 4 months, I forget what it was. It doesn't matter. I was close to doubling it, so I added another $10,000 to the bank, to my account, went on from there. That went okay. I put another $50,000 in and went on from there. Then in the following year, I went from trading 1 to 3 lot positions to 25 and 30 lot positions very quickly. It was too quick, actually, and there's the story of my huge losses later on. But I mean, you learn as you go. And so all I can do is caution you, don't look at the system. Look at the market and say, what are you doing? And it'll tell you. All you have to do is look at the chart. And don't look at a daily chart. That doesn't mean anything, because you're not going to trade on a daily basis. You're going to trade today. So look at an hourly chart. Well, you get 24 hours, that's a day, but you're not going to trade for 24 hours. If you take the fast track course, it presents a methodology for you to trade an hour or 2 hours a day, and you're done. Because you're not trading on the daily chart. You're trading down lower so that you're only taking it, you're not trying to get 50 pips. You're trying to get 5, 10 pips. But if you can consistently do that every day, the percentage gain against your bank is enormous. But nobody seems to want that. They want that 50 pip hit on 500 to 1 leverage. Yahoo! Okay, so I can't help you if that's where your thinking is. Step back from the market, look at the market, and see what's going on in the market, and then look at what you're doing and ask yourself, how in the hell is what I'm doing going to be able to take advantage of that market? And if you can answer that, great, try it. if it doesn't seem to work, or you're clouded about it, or you're unsure about it, send me an email. I'd be happy to chat with you in email, or even do a video conference with you, so that we try to get some semblance of direction for you, so that you can go and trade. And then, you know, I've got people that email me, they've been emailing me for 3 years, and they don't take a course. They say, hey, Peter, I'm trading along here, and, you know, I'm running into this. What do you think I ought to do? I'll be glad to share what my thoughts are. I'm not going to tell you what to do, because I don't know your whole situation. But if you tell me you're having a problem in a specific thing, and you can identify conditions of the market, conditions that you're in, what time of day, you know, all that stuff, look at your transaction record, I could probably help you with that. Because the solutions to the problem, once we identify the problem that you're having, there's going to be one rule to fix that. Now, if you were to ask me 42 different questions, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to need 42 rules to fix what you're doing. Because what you're going to find is that of the 42 things that you've done wrong, you're really only doing 1 or 2 things incorrectly that's causing the other 40 problems that you're having. It's really simple. It really is. It's either in your entry analysis, it's either in your position management, or it's in your exit methodology. Most likely it's in your entry analysis, because that sets the foundation for the whole rest of what you're going to do. Just like filling the gas tank in your car, that sets the foundation for the whole trip that you're going to be taking. If you're looking at the wrong thing, like how tired you're going to be for that long trip, or do you have snacks in the glove compartment? Yeah, that's not preparing you for what's really going to happen. You're going to run out of gas. That's what's going to happen. I'm going in because it's cold. I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions, again, I keep trying to harp on that. I'm not trying to sell you a course. I'm trying to help you, okay? Send me an email. It's the only way that you'll know whether I can help you or not. If I can help you solve an individual problem, great. If you're having an issue with methodology or process, then I'm going to have to talk to you about those things. If you don't seem to understand those things, you're not going to want to take the course. I'm not going to take you on as the course, because you're not going to be able to deal with it. No sense in paying me money to do something you're not going to benefit from, because then you're just going to blame me. I don't need that. The stuff that I teach is educationally sound, and it works if it's followed. And so if you look at that and you say, gee, I'd like to talk to you, what does the course do? I'll tell you about the course, but I'm not going to try to sell it to you. I don't have anything to sell. I've got something people can buy when they are interested in doing that, but really, I don't have anything to sell you. So I hope that this helps you in your quest in dealing with difficult Forex trading conditions, and understanding that those conditions are not the problem. It's the methodology, or the way that you're going about looking at those conditions, that may be at fault. If you're trying to solve the condition that's incorrect, you have to look at the market as a whole and be agnostic to what the market is doing at any given time, other than the 5-minute chart that you're going to be trading on. And that'll just make things much simpler in your life. And you can enjoy your coffee, which is what I'm going to do, is go in and get some French press going. Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day, and have a great trading day.